Black Hollow was the kind of place that barely made it onto maps. A quiet town where everyone knew each other's names, where summers smelled of fresh rain and winters wrapped the streets in silence. For generations, Black Hollow prided itself on being untouched by the chaos of the outside world. No big city crime, no scandals, just small-town charm and old traditions whispered from one family to another. But beneath that calm surface, Black Hollow had always carried shadows. Old stories no one wanted to talk about. Disappearances that were brushed off. And places deep in the woods that locals warned their children never to go near. For a long time, the town stayed quiet. Until the summer when 7 girls vanished, and Black Hollow's dark past clawed its way back into the light. It began with a chilling broadcast that gripped the nation. 7 girls vanished last summer from the quiet town of Black Hollow. No bodies, no suspects, no clues. Until now, the screen flickered to grainy surveillance footage, time-stamped 1:13 a.m. It showed the girls, smiling, unaware, as they boarded a faded white van near the edge of town. That was the last anyone saw of them. At first, people thought it was a runaway case. Teenagers with big dreams and reckless hearts. But when days turned into weeks and then months, the town's charm soured. Black Hollow, once known for its colorful streets and community fairs, became a place of whispers and locked doors. The chilling detail? That van, the one captured on camera, never appeared on any road surveillance after that night. Not a single highway cam, toll booth, or gas station security feed picked up its trail. It was as if it had vanished into thin air. The case went cold. Families held on to hope, but deep down they knew. The town started calling them the 7, a ghostly reminder that something evil had passed through their streets. Then, almost a year later, everything changed. An anonymous message appeared in the comment section of a true crime podcast that had covered the case. You're looking in the wrong place. They never left the town. Authorities initially dismissed it as a cruel hoax. But for Leah Morgan, a young freelance journalist with a knack for solving what others couldn't, the message felt different. She decided to dig deeper. Leah returned to Black Hollow, where the locals met her with cold stares. Nobody wanted the past dredged up, but in hushed voices, a few began to speak. Strange things had happened the week after the girls disappeared. Power outages, odd smells near the old quarry, and sightings of strange figures near Briarwood High School at night. The school. That was the first real lead. Leah found out that the janitor, Samuel Griggs, had abruptly resigned and moved away days after the disappearance. His work records showed excessive overtime logged during the late nights leading up to the vanishings. Leah obtained old maintenance blueprints of the school and discovered sealed-off tunnels beneath the building, relics from when the school doubled as a fallout shelter during the Cold War. Fueled by growing suspicion, Leah teamed up with Dylan Reyes, a local who had lost his sister, one of the 7. Together, they ventured into those tunnels late at night, their flashlights slicing through decades of dust and silence. The deeper they went, the more they realized that the tunnels weren't abandoned. Graffiti marked the walls with cryptic messages. They watch. They wait. And then they found it. A makeshift room with tattered sleeping bags, old food wrappers, and a small collection of belongings that matched what the girls had owned. But there was something else, a camera. Still powered, its storage full. Leah's hands shook as she flipped through the footage. The girls had been alive for days down here, trapped and terrified. Their captor's face was never shown, but his voice echoed. No one will find you. You're part of the town now. But then, the footage stopped abruptly. No ending, no answers. Determined, Leah and Dylan pushed further into the tunnels until they stumbled upon a collapsed section, behind which they could hear faint noises. Was it rats? Or something else? Authorities were called, and excavation began. The town gathered as workers broke through the rubble. What they found was horrifying skeletal remains, confirmed to be the 7 sealed behind the walls all this time. Dental records revealed that the remains dated back not 1 year, but nearly 20 years prior, matching another case of 7 girls who had vanished in 2004 and were quietly declared runaways. So then, Where were the current 7? The broadcast ends with a final, chilling line from Leah's voiceover. In Black Hollow, the past doesn't stay buried, and neither do its secrets. For months, Black Hollow had whispered about the 7, the 7 girls who disappeared without a trace. But until now, no one knew about the secret that bound them together. Their names were Sierra Lane, Jenna Price, Lily Garza, Tasha McCoy, Emily Wu, Harper James, and Nina Delgado. On the surface, they had little in common. They came from different schools across the Black Hollow area, belonged to different social circles, and had no known ties. To their parents and teachers, they were ordinary teenagers dealing with school, friends, and the pressures of growing up. But behind closed doors, they shared something darker, a secret online group chat called Cold Blood Club. It started as a place where they exchanged ghost stories and dared each other to explore local urban legends. Abandoned warehouses, the old quarry, and the tunnels under Briarwood High School were their playgrounds. They thrived on the adrenaline, recording their escapades and uploading them anonymously to a private server. The more dangerous the dare, the higher the status within the group. Parents interviewed for the documentary recall thinking their daughters had simply snuck off for a spontaneous road trip. Sierra had always been a little rebellious, her mother says through tears. But I never thought she wouldn't come back. Others blamed peer pressure. Harper's father, voice tight with anger, states, that club, that chat room, it turned them into someone else. They got obsessed with proving themselves. The police had dismissed the chat as teenage mischief until a recovered phone, found months later beneath the bleachers at Briarwood High School, revealed chilling messages in the Cold Blood Club chat. At first, the messages were typical teenage banter. Who's ready for the big one tonight? Got my flashlight and backup battery. Let's go. But then came the message that changed everything. Tonight's the night. No backing out. Blood in, blood out. The phrase sent shivers down investigators' spines. It wasn't just a dare. It hinted at something ritualistic, something binding. An anonymous user, whose handle was simply Watcher13, had sent a reply that night. A reply no one could explain. Once you go in, you don't come out the same. The chat went dark after that night. No more messages. No more logins. Digging deeper, the investigation found footage from one of the girls' vlogs, now deleted but recovered by digital forensic experts. In a grainy video, the girls are laughing nervously, flashlights bobbing as they make their way through the woods. One girl, possibly Jenna, turns the camera to her face and says, "This is it. We're going to prove everyone wrong. Black Hollow's biggest secret? We're about to find it." The video cuts off abruptly, mid-sentence, with static filling the screen. For the people of Black Hollow, the new evidence was a painful revelation. These weren't random disappearances. The girls had gone looking for something, and whatever they found that night was far worse than anyone had imagined. As the segment closes, the narrator's voice deepens. What drove them to take that final step? And who, or what, was waiting for them in the dark? The investigation takes a darker turn when Detective Rowan Hale, the lead on the case, steps forward in a rare televised interview. His face is tight, his words carefully chosen. "We tracked the girls' phones to one last location before everything went dark," he says. That location? An abandoned slaughterhouse just 2 miles outside of Black Hollow, a decaying structure the locals grimly call the Cold Blood Plant. Once a thriving meat processing facility, the Cold Blood Plant was shut down in the late 80s after a string of gruesome accidents. Since then, it had become the stuff of local legend, a magnet for thrill seekers and urban explorers. Detective Hale states plainly, "We searched every inch of that place after the girls vanished. Nothing. No bodies. No signs of struggle. Just an empty building." But weeks later, everything changes. An urban explorer who goes by the handle NightcrawlerX uploads leaked footage to a dark web forum. Footage that quickly goes viral once it hits mainstream platforms. The video is shaky, filmed with a cheap night vision camera. At first, it shows the typical decay. Rusted hooks swinging from the ceiling, walls streaked with years of grime. The explorer narrates in a hushed voice, "This is where they say the Cold Blood Club came. Right here. I'm going to find proof. And then, he does. The camera pans over to what looks like dried stains on the concrete floor. At first glance, they're just dark splotches. But then the flashlight beam hits them directly, and the red hue becomes unmistakable. Blood. Further in, the explorer finds symbols crudely painted on the walls, circles interlocked with jagged lines, arrows pointing in unnatural directions. Viewers freeze-frame the footage and begin speculating in the comments. Are they satanic? Ritualistic? But the most disturbing find comes next. Half buried under debris, the explorer's camera lingers on what appears to be a shoe. It's small, white, with a pink butterfly embroidered on the side. Cut to an interview with Jenna Price's mother, her voice trembling as she confirms. That was Jenna's shoe. She wore it all the time. I bought it for her last summer. Suddenly, the case has new life. As the explorer turns to leave, the camera catches something that wasn't noticed at first. In the far background, barely visible behind the rusted metal beams, is a figure, a tall, shadowy silhouette standing perfectly still. It's only visible for a few frames. Blink and you miss it. But viewers didn't miss it. The comments explode. Did anyone else see that at 5:32? Behind the beam. Go back and pause at 5:34. There's someone watching. That's not just a shadow. Look at the eyes. They're reflecting light. The video encourages viewers directly. Drop a comment if you spotted the figure. And tell us, is this proof the girls never left the plant? Police officials dismiss the footage as manipulated. Detective Hale, when shown the clip, simply shakes his head and says, "We didn't find anything like that during our search." But by then, it's too late. The story has taken on a life of its own. Internet sleuths slow down the footage, adjust the brightness, and post their own analysis videos. Some claim it's just a trick of the light. Others are convinced it's the key to the entire mystery, that the figure is the person responsible for the girl's disappearance. Or worse, that it's not a person at all. As the segment closes, viewers are left with one haunting question. If the girl's trail ended at the Cold Blood plant, what else is still hiding there? Just when the town of Black Hollow thought the case couldn't get any darker, it does. Official records from the Black Hollow Police Department begin to mysteriously disappear. A local journalist, Paige Mercer, breaks the story during an emergency live stream. Sources inside the department have confirmed that physical case files connected to the Cold Blood disappearances have gone missing, including interview transcripts, forensic reports, and even initial search photos. The town is stunned. Was this incompetence or something far more sinister? Within days, Officer Dale Rucker, a 17-year veteran of the force, abruptly resigns. No press conference. No statement. Gone. But then, a chilling rumor starts circulating among local reporters. One junior officer, who insists on remaining anonymous, claims he heard whispers while pulling files in the evidence room late at night. His voice shakes in a leaked audio clip. "I swear to God, I heard clear as day. 7 in, none out. Over and over. Like it was coming from the walls." The audio spreads like wildfire online. Paranormal enthusiasts pounce on the phrase, calling it the Blood Club's curse. Reddit threads explode with theories. Is the entire town haunted by the girl's unfinished ritual? But it doesn't stop there. A whistleblower, known only by their alias Crowfeather77, leaks internal police emails to an independent investigative site. The emails show top officers urging each other to keep the files contained and avoid alerting state authorities. One line stands out. "This is bigger than a missing persons case. Shut it down before outsiders get involved." Suddenly, the idea of a cover-up doesn't feel like just a conspiracy theory. It feels real. But the most devastating blow comes to the families directly. Margaret Hale, mother of missing 16-year-old Leah Hale, receives an anonymous package at her front door. No return address. No postage stamp. Inside, a bloodstained scarf. It matches the exact scarf Leah was last seen wearing in the grainy security footage from the night she vanished. Tucked in with the scarf is a note, scrawled in shaky handwriting. She's not cold yet. Margaret collapses when she reads it. News crews descend on her home, capturing footage of her sobbing uncontrollably on her front porch. The image goes viral, reigniting national attention on the case. Speculation runs wild. Is this proof Leah, or one of the other girls, is still alive? Is someone toying with the families? Or warning them? Why would the police try to hide this evidence? Meanwhile, Detective Rowan Hale refuses to comment, leading to even more public suspicion. Pressure mounts as state investigators are called in. Protesters gather outside the police station, demanding answers. But the real question that claws at everyone's mind is this. If the case files vanished and the whispers are real, what else has been buried in Black Hollow? And who is behind the anonymous deliveries? Friend or foe? A bloodstained scarf, a haunting note, and whispers that say, 7 in, none out. But is one of them still alive? Or is this only the beginning of something much darker? Just when Black Hollow's nightmare seemed carved in stone, another fracture appears. And this time, it spreads like wildfire. It starts on a conspiracy YouTube channel called Midnight Truth. They drop a bombshell. New leaked footage suggests that not all 7 girls are dead. One may have escaped. The video, shaky and grainy, looks like standard gas station security footage. Timestamp: 3:02 a.m. Location: Haven Pines fuel stop, 40 miles outside Black Hollow. The footage shows a girl, young, disheveled, bolting from the bathroom door. She's barefoot, limping. Her hair is tangled. Her clothes are torn. But the internet zeroes in on one crucial detail: the resemblance. She looks exactly like Alyssa Crane, one of the 7 girls. Alyssa was officially declared dead 3 months before this footage appeared. Her family held a memorial. A death certificate was issued. So how is she in this video alive? The footage goes viral. Frame-by-frame breakdowns flood TikTok and Reddit. Users claim to read her lips in those few terrifying seconds before she disappears off camera. Experts and amateurs alike agree. She's mouthing the words, "They're not dead." Pause. Rewind. Play again. They're not dead. The revelation hits like a bombshell. If true, it means everything the police told the public was a lie. It means at least some of the girls might still be alive, trapped, hidden, or worse. Detective Rowan Hale, already under fire, refuses to confirm or deny the authenticity of the footage. The gas station owner, when interviewed, claims the girl vanished before authorities arrived. She was gone, man. Just gone. Cops showed up 20 minutes later, and there was nothing to show them. But whispers online grow louder. An anonymous account calling themselves Survivor_1 posts cryptic messages in comment sections. Not all of us died that night. The Cold Blood Club was never meant to end. They're still here, watching. More footage emerges. Dashcam clips from passing truckers that night. In one, blurred headlights catch a fleeting shape stumbling along the highway shoulder. Same torn clothes. Same limp. It feeds the frenzy. Podcasts speculate nonstop. Was Alyssa part of something darker? A ritual gone wrong? Did someone fake her death to silence her? And what does she mean by "they're not dead"? Meanwhile, Alyssa's mother, Janine Crane, breaks her silence on national television. Her voice cracks as she pleads. "If that's my daughter in that video, please, I need her to come home. Please." The FBI steps in. The case officially reopens. Suddenly, Black Hollow is back in the national spotlight, and the town's darkest secrets are clawing their way back to the surface. And just when the tension couldn't get any higher, another twist drops. An investigative reporter cross-checks hospital records and finds no sign of Alyssa's body ever arriving at the county morgue. In fact, several documents related to her death appear doctored or missing entirely. Had she ever really been dead? Or was Black Hollow hiding something far more monstrous than anyone imagined? She was declared dead, buried, mourned, and yet the camera doesn't lie. So who is this girl? And if they're not dead, where are they now? Just when the public starts to believe that the case couldn't get any darker, the internet digs deeper. And what they find is far more terrifying than anyone expected. It begins with a thread on a popular true crime subreddit. What if the Cold Blood Club wasn't just a chat group? What if it was a front for something else, something older? Internet sleuths start connecting the dots. They find fragments, archived forum posts, old newspaper clippings, and missing persons reports dating back decades. all centered around Black Hollow's forgotten history. A name keeps popping up: the Order of Eternal Spring. Locals had whispered about it for years. A cult that promised eternal youth through ancient rituals. Back in the 1970s, several teenagers vanished under mysterious circumstances, and the order was quietly blamed. Their headquarters, an old Victorian lodge deep in the woods, was abandoned after a fire gutted part of the structure. And here's where things get chilling. The lodge, as sleuths map it out, is just 4 miles from the infamous slaughterhouse the girls were last seen near, the Cold Blood plant. Coincidence? Or a connection hiding in plain sight? One researcher posts aerial photos showing that the abandoned lodge and the slaughterhouse are linked by an overgrown trail through the forest, a path locals call the vein. Then comes the next bombshell. A group of amateur investigators hikes into the woods and makes a grim discovery: 7 empty graves. Freshly dug, shallow, neat rows, no bodies, no bones, nothing inside, just empty holes in the earth, waiting. A local blogger named Mason Reed publishes photos of the graves and writes, 7 girls, 7 graves, but no one was ever meant to find them until they were ready. The internet explodes. Speculation runs wild. Were the girls meant to be sacrificed in some twisted ritual? Did the cult resurface and recruit them? Or is something far darker happening beneath the town's surface? TikTok theories suggest that the Cold Blood Club was actually an initiation group, a modern digital front for an ancient cult practice. Their dares and urban legends, all designed to lure them deeper into the Order's grasp. And the phrase from their leaked chat, blood in, blood out, suddenly takes on a much more horrifying meaning. But the scariest part? A drone operator exploring the woods captures something no one can explain. As he flies his drone over the gravesite, he follows a set of fresh tire tracks leading deeper into the forest. The drone camera pans, following the tracks through twisted trees and overgrown brush, until it reaches a clearing. An empty, circular patch of dirt. No cars, no people, just the tracks and an arrangement of stones forming a strange symbol at the center. The tire marks end abruptly, like the vehicle just vanished, gone without a trace. The footage sends viewers into a frenzy. Where did the car go? Is there an underground entrance? Was it taken by something else? Drone experts analyze the footage, confirming no signs of exit tracks. It's as if the vehicle simply disappeared at that clearing. Theories flood in. Hidden tunnels, ritual summoning grounds, a portal used by the cult to enact their dark ceremonies. Meanwhile, a leaked police report reveals that investigators found burnt offerings and animal bones at the old lodge site years ago, but it was quietly dismissed as teenage vandalism. Now, with the missing girls and the fresh graves, the town of Black Hollow is forced to face its buried past. Was the Order of Eternal Spring ever truly disbanded? Or has it been lurking in the shadows, waiting for the next generation to continue its blood-soaked legacy? Fresh tracks, ending in an empty clearing. 7 girls gone. 7 graves dug but never filled. And a cult that promised eternal life at a terrible cost. So the question is, did they vanish? Or did they ascend? Just when the trail seemed cold and the town of Black Hollow was starting to forget, something impossible happened. Something that made everyone stop in their tracks. It starts with a late-night security footage leak from a gas station on the edge of town. The video, time-stamped exactly 1 year and 3 days after the girls vanished, shows a familiar vehicle pulling up to Pump 6. It's the van, the same old, battered white panel van seen in the last known footage of the missing girls. Same dents, same rust patches in the shape of a crescent near the back door. Same license plate, faded but legible, 8XG214. The internet goes into overdrive. This isn't a look-alike. This is the van, the one that supposedly disappeared without a trace last summer, sparking a nationwide manhunt. But then things get strange. Viewers quickly notice that the driver's face, even in broad daylight and captured in multiple frames, appears blurred. Not your usual motion blur. Not low-quality security cam pixelation. This is something different, something unnatural, A popular video analyst channel breaks it down frame by frame. They reveal that the blur follows no logical pattern. Sometimes the face stretches sideways like melting wax. Other times, it looks like multiple faces overlapping, none of them distinct. In certain frames, there's even what appears to be an extra eye near the driver's temple. This isn't normal distortion, the analyst says in his breakdown. This looks like deliberate interference, almost like the footage is fighting against being seen. The gas station owner, when interviewed, claims he doesn't remember seeing anyone unusual that night. But his night clerk, who has since quit, tells a chilling story. I looked out the window and saw the van, but I swear to God, the headlights weren't on. And when I blinked, it was gone. But here's where the footage gets even more terrifying. At exactly 2:13 a.m., as the van idles by the pump, a figure appears in the back window. It's faint, almost unnoticeable at first. But as internet detectives brighten the footage, they make a disturbing discovery. Someone is waving from inside the van, but they're upside down. Their hand moves in a slow, deliberate motion. Palm open, then closed. Open, closed, as if signaling, or maybe pleading. Speculation explodes online. Is it one of the missing girls? Is the van being used to smuggle someone? Or is it something far darker? A ritualistic sign, as some cult experts suggest? The top comment on the viral thread sends shivers down spines. It's not a wave. It's counting. 7 times. 1 for each girl. And sure enough, when the footage is slowed, the hand opens and closes exactly 7 times before vanishing back into the shadows. Police are forced to reopen the case, issuing a statement claiming they're looking into the authenticity of the video. But privately, a whistleblower leaks an internal memo admitting that the license plate match is confirmed. They found the same van abandoned a year ago. Burnout, nothing but a skeleton. So how is it back? How is it driving through town again? And who or what is inside? As the footage circulates, an even more bone-chilling detail emerges. A sound engineer isolates the faint audio from the gas station mic. Underneath the hum of the engine, there's a low-frequency noise, almost like a chant. When sped up and filtered, it forms a chilling pattern, a voice repeating, "We're not gone. We're not gone." 7 girls disappeared. 7 waves from inside that van. And now the question isn't just what happened last summer, but what's coming next? What if the van isn't just a vehicle, but a vessel? The community is hooked, and Black Hollow's darkest secret is only getting darker. As the town of Black Hollow reels from the reappearance of the van, a darker and more personal horror begins to unfold behind closed doors. One that pulls the parents of the missing girls into the nightmare they thought couldn't get any worse. It starts quietly, small whispers among the families, first dismissed as grief-induced paranoia. But then the pattern becomes impossible to ignore. One by one, the parents begin receiving calls. Always at the exact same time, 3:33 a.m. Every single night. The calls are always the same. No voice, just silence. Except for 2 chilling sounds, faint, labored breathing, and a strange, distant melody playing softly in the background. At first, they think it's a sick prank, an attention seeker trying to capitalize on their pain. But then, Mrs. Helen Marrow, the mother of missing girl Eliza Marrow, does something the others are too afraid to do. She records a call. When she plays it back in the light of day, it's almost unintelligible. But when her nephew, a sound tech student, reverses the audio, they make a horrifying discovery. The reverse call doesn't just reveal the breathing. It contains chanting, a low, rhythmic chant in a language that no one recognizes at first. But an online sleuth deciphers it as an old regional dialect, linked to a 19th century local legend. The words, when translated, send chills through the entire investigation. 7 daughters lost to the cold. 7 more to be sold. The melody in the background? It's even worse. An expert on folk music identifies it as a children's rhyme, long forgotten but archived in an old library recording. The Ballad of the 7 Lost Sisters. A dark nursery song once sung in Black Hollow generations ago, warning children not to wander near the woods or the cold blood river. where 7 daughters once vanished without a trace. Suddenly, the entire town's buried history comes roaring back. The legend, the rhyme, the girls, it's all connected. And then the true terror begins. Just days after Mrs. Marrow shares the reversed audio online, hoping to get answers, she disappears. Gone. Vanished without a trace. Her front door left ajar, her car still in the driveway, her phone left buzzing on the kitchen counter. With a missed call at 3:33 a.m., police find no signs of forced entry. No struggle. The only thing out of place. A child's music box left sitting on her bed. One that plays the exact same haunting tune from the calls. And inside it, tucked beneath the spinning figurine, a note written in red ink. Cold takes 7. Warm takes 1 more. The town panics. Speculation explodes. Was Helen silenced because she got too close? Is a rhyme not just a song, but a blueprint? 7 girls, and now, 1 parent taken as a warning? Online theories spiral. Some say the cult tied to the girls' disappearance is active again. Others believe it's a supernatural force, exacting an ancient toll on the families. The most chilling theory? That the calls were never meant to torment the parents. They were summons, ritual signals to mark the next victim. The parents thought they'd already lost everything. But when the phone rings at 3:33, it's not just a call, it's an invitation. And if you answer, you might not see the morning. As the online video ends, the screen displays the actual reverse call audio waveform, inviting viewers to listen and comment. Can you hear what they're saying? Count the whispers, and tell us if it's really just 7. Comments pour in. I hear 8 voices, not 7. Is anyone else getting chills at 3:33 while watching this? The rhyme says 7 more to be sold. What if they're not done yet? And just like that, the nightmare deepens. Not just for Black Hollow, but for anyone watching. Anyone who might get that call next. Just when Black Hollow begins to quiet down, thinking the worst has passed. A chilling report breaks through the local news. Another girl is missing. Her name is Lena Ortega, 17 years old, from Red Hollow, a small town just 30 miles away. Same age range, same brown hair, same athletic build. And the eerie part? Lena had no known ties to Black Hollow or the original 7 girls. But the similarities are impossible to ignore. She vanished after her evening shift at a diner, never made it home. Her phone last pinged near a stretch of highway with no security cameras, just like before. But this time, a gas station CCTV catches something. A van. Same model. Same rust marks along the side. Same cracked left taillight. At first, viewers online breathe a sigh of relief. Finally, clear evidence. But as they analyze the footage, the horror deepens. The van seems to flicker in and out of the frames. Like it's glitching. Like it exists in some frames, but not in others. Video analysts try to explain it away. Bad compression, frame drop, camera malfunction. But side-by-side comparisons show. Other vehicles pass normally. Only the van seems to stutter in and out of reality. And then the worst part, as it pulls away, there's a single frame where you can see Lena, pressed against the back window, mouth open in a scream. But her eyes, they're completely blacked out, like the pupils swallowed the whites. And then, the van is gone, never spotted again. The police? They issue a statement within hours. Deny any connection to the Black Hollow case. Call it a tragic but unrelated disappearance. But no one believes them. Online forums erupt. It's starting again. The cold blood ritual wasn't finished. Lena fits the pattern perfectly. She's victim number 8. The old urban legends resurface. Some say the cult demands 7, plus 1 to open the gate. Others claim the first 7 were the beginning, and now the real sacrifice is underway. But then, something happens that sends a new shockwave. A post appears on Reddit, in a thread dedicated to theories about the case. The username is random. Throwaway 1999. No post history, no profile pic. And the message is simple. I know where the next one will be taken. It's me. The post goes viral within minutes. Screenshots flood Twitter, TikTok, YouTube. Speculation runs wild. Is this Lena herself? A survivor trying to warn people? Or someone involved in the cult? Leaking clues? People begin analyzing the post for hidden codes. GPS coordinates. Anagrams. Numeric patterns tied to the 3:33 a.m. calls. But before anyone can get deeper, the post vanishes. Deleted. Gone without a trace. Even cached versions disappear. And the user? Account suspended. Reason? Violation of Reddit's terms. But users report something even creepier. Those who try to message the account directly say they got automatic replies. Just a single sentence. 7 in, none out. The same chilling phrase heard by the resigned police officer in Black Hollow. And then, silence. No new posts. No more sightings. But everyone online knows. This isn't over. Not yet. It was exactly 1 year to the day. The anniversary no one in the town of Willow's End wanted to remember, but couldn't forget. The 7 girls, gone without a trace. The vanishing. The rumors of cults, of cover-ups, of dark rituals deep in the woods. Then, just past midnight, something happened that would change everything. Without warning, the long-dead Cold Blood Club account, silent for over a year, suddenly went live. No announcement, no promotion, but within minutes, thousands tuned in as the notification spread like wildfire. The screen was shaky at first, dark and grainy. But as the camera adjusted, it became clear where the live stream was coming from, the old Slaughterhouse. The very place at the center of all the nightmares. The place police claimed they'd cleared months ago. Inside, the camera slowly panned. 7 rusty metal chairs stood arranged in a tight circle. It looked staged, deliberate. On each chair, faded pieces of torn fabric fluttered slightly, like someone had arranged them as twisted memorials. But then, the camera zoomed closer. 6 of the chairs were empty, silent. But the 7th, the one closest to the camera, had something fresh and unmistakable. Dark red droplets glistened under the harsh overhead light. Fresh blood, still wet, still dripping. A cold voice, heavily distorted, echoed through the stream's audio. One by one, they come home. In cold blood. The chat exploded. Thousands watching in real time. Some screaming in all caps to call the police. Others claiming they saw movement in the shadows behind the chairs. Figures watching silently. And then, without warning, the screen flickered violently. The feed cut out. The stream ended. But it wasn't over. Just moments later, on the accounts page, a new post appeared. Stark white text on black background. 6 down. 1 to go. The internet erupted. Had the girls been alive all along? Were they being brought back one by one? Or was this a warning that another victim was about to fall? But here's where the story shifts. For once, this wasn't just another dead end. Because someone was watching the stream very closely. Someone with a personal stake in ending the nightmare. Detective Lena Marrow, the officer who had secretly kept investigating after being pushed off the case, recognized something no one else did. The bloodstains on the chair weren't random. The pattern, it matched the design from the children's rhyme about 7 daughters lost to the cold. But more importantly, the flicker right before the feed cut out revealed coordinates, hidden in the video artifacting. A set of GPS numbers only visible frame by frame. By dawn, a team led by Marrow stormed the real location, an abandoned cabin deep in the woods, miles from the slaughterhouse. What they found inside turned the tide. The last missing girl, alive, shackled, but breathing. She was the 7th, the one they said was already dead. But now, here she was frightened, weak, but able to speak. And with her rescue came the real bombshell. Names. The people behind the cult. The corrupt officers. The ones who orchestrated the disappearances. Within days, arrests were made. The van was found. This time for real, buried deep in a field outside town, along with chilling evidence of the rituals that had fueled the cult's obsession. Justice served, but shadows remain. The survivors were reunited with their families. Memorials turned into celebrations of survival. And Willow's End began to heal. The final message posted by the Cold Blood Club account before it was taken down by authorities read, "Game over. All home." It brought a kind of closure. The cult dismantled. The girls freed. Justice after a year of torment. But even now, some say late at night, you can still hear that voice echoing in old archive clips. In Cold Blood,